I've been having many thoughts. This morning I went to the breakfast nook and John was working on the puppets. And I was writing the night before how I studied Greek sculpture. A teacher in Philadelphia who taught the restorers and the conservationist artist at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And I went to Fredakis. His name is Evangelo Fredakis, his academy in Philadelphia, because a painting teacher of mine in Provincetown said, if you want to know how to draw the human figure, you must sculpt it. So it happened to be that a lot of painters that came to study with Henry Henchy, that's a whole story in itself. He was in his 70s and a master of color. And a lot of students from Philadelphia were there to study with him. A lot of New Yorkers. He had a new approach, a pure vision of seeing color in an impressionistic way. I found out that Philadelphia was the place to go to learn about anatomy, and there was this academy, and students had gone there. And so Jim, another student, no, James, a real sweet guy, we both that fall moved to Philadelphia to study for a year because we wanted to draw the figure correctly as the old masters did. And the special thing about the Greek discovery of the rhythmos of the body was they were able to get all the anatomy, the planes, parallel planes, quick changes, pitches from the inner ear to the head, to the pitch of the neck, to the sternum, the rib cage, the scapula, working itself right down to the box of the pelvis, going to the great trochanter. Now these parts, like great trochanter, is that bone that's sticking out of your hip. It's you learned to measure from the landmarks. That's what the Greeks knew. And very complicated pitches of everything. You're paying attention to cross contour. Your contour, you're looking at never losing the rhythm and the flow of the muscle, because you would have a very technical, stiff drawing or sculpture. And we were sculpting bones, and we were sculpting live models. And we would actually have big tools to pound the clay into the basic general forms and the general correct pitches. And then we had smaller tools, like for example, a 2-inch wooden triangle. And then there was a shop in Philadelphia that had all the tools that had long spatulas. Some were flat, some were rounded. We had rakes that were either straight or rounded. We had refined little ball wooden implements that would taper to a fine slither, a great knife, a great cutting knife. And, well, you could go and study for a long time there. I did 1 year. And I had a lot of drawing before.